everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be about brands that YouTube introduced me to, my high-end video. So about a month ago, I did this same video talking about brands that I had no idea even existed until I started watching beauty YouTube videos, and that was focused on Drugstore. I asked if you would also want to see one for high-end, and a lot of people said yes, so that is today's video. So if you want to see some brands that I had no idea existed before YouTube, why don't we go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I do need to put out a disclaimer that I'm a little bit flustered in today's video. If I seem flustered, if I seem off, I woke up not feeling well, but also once I finally got around to start filming, my camera battery just ceased to want to keep working. I've been having some problems with my camera lately, and a lot of people said it was probably the battery, and the battery just doesn't work any longer. So I actually just had to drive to Best Buy, get a new battery, come home, wait for it to charge. Now I'm filming. It's 5:30. I never filmed this late, and I have people on both sides of me doing like yard work and I'm like, can you stop? Can you just, for one second, can you stop? But I am going to be gone a couple days this week, so I'm pre-filming so I can spend some time with my family and have my videos go up like normal. So I did want to get this filmed, but thankfully it's not a bigger issue, just the battery. So okay then. Alrighty, so of course one of the first brands that I thought of when I was kind of looking around at my collection, like what brands did I not know existed before YouTube? Definitely one is Dose of Colors. Now Dose of Colors did launch in 2013, and I am trying to think of when I got on YouTube. It was, I think, in 2013, because it was the same year that I got married, and because I found them through the makeup artist who was doing my wedding, for my makeup for my wedding. She suggested that I watch YouTube because I said that I really wanted to learn how to do makeup. So I was probably on YouTube around the same time Dose of Colors was launching, but especially because they launched, you know, they're an independent brand. They were only on their website for the longest time. I probably never would have discovered them because they just recently got into Ulta. You know, I wouldn't have seen them at a drugstore or Sephora or anything like that. But there was definitely a lot of YouTubers that were hyping up Dose of Colors a lot, and that's kind of how I discovered the brand. I actually waited patiently until they came into Ulta, and then when Dose of Colors did get into Ulta, I was so excited and I made a purchase right away. I purchased the Marvelous Mauves eyeshadow palette and also one of their liquid lipsticks in Stone. These are two of my favorite items. I love them so much. I've now gone on to purchase so many things from Dose of Colors, and they're definitely a favorite brand of mine, but yeah, I don't think I would have known about the brand had it not been for so many YouTubers talking about it. So another brand that I did not know about until YouTube was Sigma Beauty. So I have a couple of my Sigma brushes here, but I really found Sigma through the YouTube tutorials. So many people were using their brushes and recommending their brushes, and I was like, wait a second, I have to, you know, check this out. What is this brand all about? And I've gone on to really enjoy Sigma brushes. I actually get to be an affiliate with Sigma, which is always so exciting for me. I should have a most used makeup brushes video that went up earlier this week as well, and you'll see a lot of Sigma in there. So I'll link that one in case you want to get to know some of my favorite Sigma brushes. But yeah, they're definitely a brand that I don't think I would have discovered had it not been for so many YouTubers using them in their videos. So the next brand that I want to talk about is Huda Beauty. So this is another brand that launched in 2013. So again, it was probably around the same time that I was getting on YouTube. But Huda Beauty was also sold, I think it was on her website, and maybe there was one other website, but I can't think of what it is on the top of my head, and it's a website I've actually never been to. So I don't think I would have known about just Huda in general or her brand had it not been for watching YouTube and all of a sudden seeing a lot of hype around the brand, and I was like, wait a second, what? Like I want some products from them. So some of the first things that I bought from Huda Beauty's line is the liquid lipsticks. I have minis here. I buy a ton of her sets, and they're one of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas. I've also recently really been loving her little eyeshadow palettes, the Obsessions eyeshadow palettes. This is my latest one that I purchased. This is the Coral Obsessions palette, and I've been testing this out like crazy so I can review it in my Sephora haul follow-up video. But yeah, I don't think I would have known about Huda Beauty had it not been for YouTube. So another brand here, and it's interesting because a lot of brands that were at Sephora are more high-end, but they've like been around for a while. I feel like I kind of already knew about them. Yeah, like at least some like little inkling, or my mom had used their products, my grandmother had used their products, my friends had used their products. There was a lot at first that I thought I could put on this list, but then when I actually sat down and thought about it, I was like, No, you know, my friend had that palette, my friend had that lipstick, my grandma used that eyeliner, you know, things like that. So I was like, what brands really were out there? But one definitely is Hourglass. I really had no clue about Hourglass until I started watching YouTube videos, and I feel like it was this guy first that kind of introduced Hourglass to me, because when they came out with their Vanish, what are they, the Vanish stick foundation, all of a sudden so many people were talking about this guy and so many people were raving about it and recommending it. This is an expensive guy. I don't remember how much it was. I want to say in the $50 range, maybe even higher. I can't. Maybe it was in the $50 range or high 40s. I can't remember right now. Now I bought it because that's like how much people were raving about it, and I can't say it's my favorite foundation. It's on the chopping block. I know I have a foundation declutter coming up, and I think I have a good feeling about where this guy's going. But yeah, so many people were talking about that. I was like, I have to get it. And another product for sure that I feel like gets a lot of attention, that I see a lot in their videos, in YouTubers videos, is their ambient lighting. You know, they have blushes, that's what's here. They have their powders, they have bronzers, and these guys are also super freaking expensive. I got this one off Glambot because I was like, those are so pricey. But I actually do like these. I like these quite a bit. I like this blush. This is the Ethereal Glow Blush. But again, I feel like this is another product that I see mentioned a lot from Hourglass in YouTube videos. But this is one, even though I don't know how long they've been in Sephora, but I know that they are at Sephora, it was never a brand that I paid any attention to, gave a double take to. Like, I don't even remember ever seeing them and being like, oh, what's that brand about? So definitely I had to put Hourglass in this video. Another one would be Milk Makeup. I think I wrote down, did I write down when Milk Makeup launched in 2016? So this is a newer brand. I for sure was already on YouTube, but again, it's one of those that I felt like was getting a lot of hype because of YouTube videos, and especially when the blur stick came out. So many people were talking about this and using it and raving about it, and I was like, I really want that blur stick. It was on my wish list for the longest time, but I was like, I just don't know. Like, even though everybody was talking about it, I was like, I just don't know. Like, will it really work for me? I ended up getting it from Milk Makeup, which was so exciting, and now I'm super grateful to be on their PR list and get some of their new releases, which is super cool. But I actually do like it, and I've been using it quite a bit this week too, because I feel like my pores are especially like coming out to party. So I really do like this guy as well, but also their lip color in cream is one of my go-to lip colors. I think it is such a beautiful lipstick. I talk about this quite frequently. I wear it a lot, and I just think it's a great lip color. But even though they were a newer brand, I feel, and they are in Sephora, I feel like YouTube is the one that really introduced me to this new brand. Hey, this new brand is coming out. Look at the, like, a lot of people talk about the packaging on Milk Makeup. Look at the different packaging, the unique packaging. That's kind of how I really was able to find out that the brand even launched, was even around, was because of YouTube videos. So next up, I want to talk about Laura Mercier. This is another brand that's been around for a while, and it's been in Sephora, but I don't think that I ever knew about Laura Mercier, saw anyone using it, had anyone in my real life using it, so I never knew of the brand. And I started seeing a lot of people talk about, of course, the translucent powder from Laura Mercier. Everybody was using it, and one of the first items that I actually purchased from Laura Mercier was the Secret Brightening Powder, because I was really into the bright under eyes at one point. So even though everyone was raving over the original translucent powder, I was like, I'm gonna get the brightening one, and my under eyes are gonna be like, phew. Like, I wanted my under eyes to be a disco ball at one point. Like, it was kind of silly. But then I also went on to purchase I just got like a little sample. It was like a you know, bonus offer or whatever at Sephora, and I got a sample of the Flawless Fusion foundation, and I was so surprised at how much I liked it. Like, so surprised at how much I liked it, because it's full coverage and long wearing, and it's more of a matte foundation, all things that I don't necessarily love, but I actually really enjoyed that foundation. I used my sample all the way up, and I still have that foundation on my Sephora loves list, considering buying a full size because of how much I liked it. I also went on most recently to purchase the Flawless Fusion Concealer, and I've been wearing this like mad. I did a review on it, and I said I really liked it. It's a nice full coverage, but not like too full coverage of concealer. It's super easy to blend out, and I think it looks really nice on the under eyes. So that is Laura Mercier. Another brand, an expensive brand. This one is Charlotte Tilbury. I don't think I had ever heard about Charlotte Tilbury before YouTube, and I sat here and I was racking my brain like, really? Never? But I was like, no, I truly don't think that I had heard of her name before, and I, you know, was eyeing her products, and you know, so many people were mentioning such great things, but it's also a pretty pricey brand, and you can't get them at Sephora. They are on Beautylish, which Beautylish I never knew about until YouTube either, which I think is fantastic. I definitely stand behind Beautylish now. But I actually was able to get a PR package from Charlotte Tilbury, which totally shocked me. I can remember getting that email and being like, are you 100% on this? And I think they've actually sent me 2 packages, which is super cool. But in one of the first ones, they sent along this Light Wonder Youth Boosting Skin Foundation. This is one of my favorite foundations, especially for summertime. It's so natural looking on the skin, but it also is a little bit radiant at the same time. I was wearing it in a video the other day, and I hadn't busted it out for a while because it is more of like, it's like a light medium coverage, but it's just super natural, like I said, and I just gravitate towards it in the summer. I wore it so often last summer, and I busted it out the other day and put it on, and I was like, oh girl, you do like this foundation. But also most recently, I did make a purchase from Beautylish, and I bought this guy from Charlotte Tilbury. It is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. Boom, say that while you're still flustered over your camera battery. But so many people recommend this product as well. Like, this is one of the top recommended products I think I have personally seen from the Charlotte Tilbury brand. So I bought this setting powder, and I really have been enjoying it for setting on my under eyes, setting my whole face with it. I do think it's a really nice powder, but I think YouTube definitely introduced me to Charlotte Tilbury. Thanks for taking my money. I don't think I can have a YouTube introduce me to video without talking about Natasha Denona. Again, I really sat here and thought, you've never heard the name Natasha Denona? And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I never have. I mean, YouTube definitely introduced me to this brand, because once she started coming out with those big eyeshadow palettes, all of a sudden so many people were talking about them in a good way and also in a bad way. You know, people were getting them and reviewing them, but at the same time people are also like, can you believe someone is charging that much money for an eyeshadow palette? Because their big palettes are over $100, and you know, so there's always kind of like this kind of like split. I don't even know if I would say split down the middle, but you know, some people are like, these are the best, these are my holy grail, these are great shadows, and other people are like, yeah, they're okay, but they're too expensive, you know, that kind of thing. So I feel like YouTube definitely introduced me to that, and I couldn't purchase anything from Natasha Denona because that's just a lot of money for an eyeshadow palette. No matter, like, as my makeup collection grows, as my eyeshadow palette grows, collection grows, and all of that fun stuff, I'm still like, that's so much money for an eyeshadow palette. I haven't been able to do it, but I do have the little mini guy here. Actually, my friend Candace did send this over to me, and this is the mini sunset palette. So it has 5 different shades in here, and this was it $25? And I was like, okay, this one I can actually get behind, because $25 I can do. I really like mini sizes of things, smaller sizes, because I'm very light-handed. I have a bigger collection. I don't hit pan on things. So this guy works just fine for me. Honestly, I would be shocked if I hit pan on this anyways. And I do like these colors. I know not everybody loves this palette, but I do. Didn't necessarily make me want to spend over $100 on the big Natasha palettes, no, but I like this guy. But YouTube definitely had to introduce me to Natasha Denona and her pricey palettes. Where flyaways are like flying away. Instead of just sitting here and watching, seeing if my camera was actually charging, I took my dog for a walk, so I'm like, worse for wear today. Okay, moving on. I just have 2 more brands I love to talk about, but the next one is Viseart. I definitely had never heard of Viseart before YouTube, and again, it was one of those things where a lot of people started using the palettes, talking about the palettes, but they're also more expensive palettes. Like they're, oh, I have one right here. This one here is the Neutral Matte Palette, so it looks like this, and this is an $80 palette, and they have a couple different variations of these. So a lot of people were talking about them, you know, some in a really good way, saying these are the best shadows that they've ever used, the best mattes that they've ever used, but like, oh my gosh, it's an $80 palette, it's expensive. I did get this gifted to me from a subscriber, which made me so happy that I was finally able to try it out. But yeah, definitely YouTube introduced me to them, and it kind of just was the same as Natasha Denona. People either really love them or people like them but think they're too expensive, and that's actually the category that I fall into. Palette, I don't know why I didn't grab out this palette to chat about, but this palette actually came in my Beautylish lucky bag, so it was funny that I mentioned Beautylish earlier, that YouTube introduced me to them. But one of the things that I don't know if this was the first thing how I heard about Beautylish, because I feel like maybe I, you know, saw people saying, oh, you can order that on Beautylish, or that brand's on Beautylish. But the Beautylish Lucky Bag was a really big thing. I think it was 2 years ago. All of a sudden I was seeing everybody unbox their Beautylish Lucky Bags. I was like, what is that? So I purchased one the following year, this past year. I think it was in January that we got it. And actually a Viseart palette came in that, which was kind of funny. This is their Theory palette in Nuance, which looks like so. But yeah, definitely YouTube introduced me to Viseart. I really had no clue about the brand before then. And then I just have one more brand to talk about here, and that is Cover FX. Again, I'm not sure how new/old a brand Cover FX is, but I had never heard anything about them before YouTube, and I feel like it was really their drops, the custom enhancer drops that everybody started raving about at once, and like other brands started doing like things similar to it. And I feel like that's how I really got to know Cover FX, was through those. I do have a little mini guy that came in like a sample bag once, but I'm just not a big fan of like the liquid drops like that. Like, I know you can put it in with your foundation, you can also use them as highlight. I just was never like a huge fan of it, but I actually went on to purchase their, this is a new product from them, it's their Power Play foundation. I purchased the Sunday Riley Influencer foundation in the latest BIB sale. Didn't love it. I actually ended up exchanging it for this, which I really do like, but I kind of wish I would have gotten a different shade match, because I wore it the other day and I was like, yeah, this is definitely more of like my pale shade, and you know, we're entering summer, so I get a little bit tanner in the summer months, so I'm like, shoot, I might not be able, because I don't even know if you can tell with the bottle, but this one is in P40, so I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'll be able to wear this a lot in the summer. I'd really have to maybe put those custom enhancer drops in, or you know, something like that. But I actually really do quite like this foundation, which is pretty exciting. I think it's a good one, but yeah, definitely I did not know about Cover FX before YouTube. YouTube introduced me to them, but after that, that is going to do it for today's video. Somehow we made it through that. Okay, so that is going to be everything for today's video, talking about some high-end brands that YouTube introduced me to. Of course, I would love to know yours in the description box down below. What brands did you have no idea even existed, was out there, whether they were in Sephora, Ulta, whatever, you just had no idea. I would love to know yours down below. Again, my apologies for being flustered, maybe looking a little silly, and if you heard any lawnmowers outside, I do apologize, but I'm just really glad that I was able to get this video filmed and that my camera wasn't, you know, had something worse going on with it. So that's a good thing. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it so much. If you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.